Hello, international students. I'm Connor Blay from internationalstudent.com, and thank you guys for joining our live stream today. So we're on live today because we are going to be showing you guys how to take the lead at McNeese State University. McNeese is a public university located in Lake Charles, Louisiana. McNeese offers opportunities for international students such as you guys to lead on campus through the Student Government Association. And so I'm going to bring in our special guest, Preble Gerard, and she is going to introduce a recorded video that she did with two of the SGA leaders, Andreas Arias and Sarauv Sharma. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring her into the live stream. A little bit of a delay. Hi, Preble.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. This is a nice opportunity. We're excited. We're going to be able to share a conversation that I had. We recorded a conversation with two of my current international students, and we talked about their experience in the Student Government Association. And they've really impressed me over the past few years with their leadership on campus. And it was something that I thought other students might want to learn a little bit about, leadership opportunities, but specifically student government. That's something that's very, very typical on American campuses. It's a way for students to have a voice. And international students are very much a part of that. And I think you'll see that today when we have our conversation, that students have opportunities to have that voice. And so the students that I'll be talking to they were the student government president and student treasurer. So these are not insignificant roles. These are the top leadership positions. And I think it's very significant that international students have taken the lead this way. So I'm excited to share this conversation, and then we'll be here to take questions live from people who they get a chance to hear about that opportunity, and if they have questions about student government, or if they have questions about McNeese, our programs, I'm also here to answer those questions.
All right, great. Perfect introduction. As Preble said, if you have any questions about the live stream or just about McNeese in general, send them in the comments and we're going to answer them after the recording plays. So let's go ahead and get to it. Thanks, Preble.
Thank you. Great. Now I have joining me my two guests. I have Andreas and Sarauv, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll begin with a little bit of a conversation.
So hello, all of you. Thank you for joining us. And my name is Andres Arias. I'm from Cali, Colombia. I'm majoring in mechanical engineering. I'll be graduating in just a couple of weeks. And currently I'm serving as the student body president.
Great.
All right, my name is Sarauv Sharma. I'm from Kathmandu, Nepal. I'm an international student. I'm a mechanical engineering student too, and I've served as a treasurer in 2019-2020 academic year, and I'm a senior about to graduate.
Fantastic. Thank you both for joining us. And as a little joke, I might interject here that we do have other majors besides mechanical engineering, but engineering is very popular at McNeese. Andreas, I'm going to let you begin. First of all, can you tell us a little bit what the Student Government Association is?
Yes, absolutely. So I feel like the student government's purpose is to organize the representation of the students' opinions on campus. And how it gets done is pretty much an example of that is that there are university committees. An example of some are like the campus development committees, which they are in charge of like beautifying the campus, and also the task committee, which they're in charge of like big technology expenditures. And both of these are very like high budget committees that are mostly staffed by students. So the student government kind of like tries to organize those students and organize their efforts to where they're put in these committees that they do high value decisions, right? So that way we have students that like start getting experience with all these like committees and budgets, and they also just have like their vision being implanted on their campus. Along with that, we also try to help student organizations, and we try to fund the events and travel for other student organizations. We try to help out individual students if they have any kind of problem with whatever it may be. You know, maybe they don't want to go straight to a professor or a dean. They could come to us, and then we'll try to help them out any way we can. So I'd say that's
fantastic. That's really interesting. I mean, it's sort of like democracy at work on campus. Students really having a say in not in their educational process, etc. Very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sarauv, let me ask you this: before you came to McNeese at home, were you planning on being involved in student government? Were you already really active in clubs and different organizations in your high school at home?
No, definitely not. I was not involved in any of those clubs or organizations whenever I was in high school. I used to take part in several competitions. I really liked getting involved in like participating in competitions, but I never really thought about getting involved on like in those groups and organizations. I used to just hang out, go to school, hang out with my friends, and come right back home. But having come to McNeese all the way from Nepal, I kind of felt I have to represent my country, where I'm from, and what kind of culture I celebrate, what kind of norms, values, beliefs we have, and just share it with our local and domestic friends. It just happened so automatically that I got involved with Nepalese Student Association. It was not out of a desire or, of anything. It just happened so automatically, and I like it. I have been involved with NSA ever since, all these 4 years. But after NSA, I think my second organization was ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, because I'm a mechanical engineering student. I made some of my mechanical friends, and then just got involved with the organization. It kind of helped me throughout my college years. I made some mechanical friends, and then we kind of used to work out problems together, and it just helped me throughout the years. Then I got an opportunity to get involved with SGA, and I grabbed that opportunity because at that point I felt like getting involved with organization is really beneficial for you. So I just grabbed that opportunity and became a treasurer.
That's fantastic. I mean, you've mentioned so many things right there. You talked about some of the other organizations on campus, the Nepalese Student Association, so you're able to lead as a cultural ambassador. You talked about the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, so an organization related to your major. And it sounds like that all these opportunities, even though you weren't necessarily looking for campus engagement, they gave you opportunities, and they really allowed you to sort of come out of your shell. And gave you opportunities, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Andreas, how did you initially become involved with SGA?
Yeah, so originally when I first got to McNeese, it was nowhere in my mind that I wanted to be in student government. I had mechanical engineering in my mind. However, I was interested by like speech and debate, which is an organization that travels around, and they do exactly what it says. They do competitions on like speech delivery, speech composition, and then they do parliamentary debate. So I stayed with them for about a year and a half. I got to be vice president eventually. And with them, so in the student government, I should first explain, all organizations are allowed to have a representative to the legislature. And then there are certain organizations that are allowed to have senators. So while I was in speech and debate, I got elected to be their representative to the student government. And that was kind of like my foot in the door. And then once I was inside, I got to see what they do and how they help people. And I was just kind of hooked. Like since that moment I stayed in there, I was a representative twice. I eventually, with my buddy, the elections were coming around and we were just talking. We had no officer experience, but we were just like, let's just run, let's just see what happens. We'll figure it out. And we did, and we won. We fought we did a hard campaign, and then we learned so much in that first year. You learn so many people. There's so many things that you think you know about how things are run, but then once you get in there, you find out you know nothing. So I eventually ran for re-election and got the presidency position, and here we are today.
That's fantastic. And one thing I was thinking about when you were responding is that everything you've described, these are skills. You're building this toolbox of skills that are not just related to student government or campus life. These are skills that you're going to be able to take with you no matter what you do. So really, really sort of career preparedness, life skills. That's interesting.
Yeah, really. It really teaches you how to speak to people, it makes you have a lot of friendships. You know a lot of people, and that's very good, it's.
So Rob, let me ask you this. You talked about having a to-do list, having goals. What's something that you all achieved during your tenure with the Student Government Association? What's something that you achieved that you're most proud of?
Okay, so all right. There is a lot. To be honest. So first is we always talk about leadership and this and that. So during my second, I think it was sophomore year, I was applying for several interns and all that. And what I looked at the requirements, it says, oh, you have to have some kind of leadership qualities. You have to have this skill and that skill. And I'm like, how come we get these, during our college, but then later on I figured out it's getting involved with campus, with organizations on campus. So get involved with organization, you then happen to get a position in there, and that's how you kind of learn all those leadership skills. First thing I would say, leadership. As a treasurer, I would have to always go to the weekly meetings and deliver and present budget in front of almost 100 people, and that takes guts. First few meetings I was so scared. I'm like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? But later on, gradually kind of worked out, and now I can go and deliver a 10-minute speech in front of all those 100 people. I have that kind of confidence on me. Yeah, I think those are the small little bitty leadership qualities that the employers are also looking for in you. That confidence and that determination. I learned that through student government and also other organizations that I was involved. And getting involved with the student government, I kind of happened to get involved with the school administrators. I used to talk to them. I used to ask them for advice, and they kind of taught me how to better handle people, how to easily communicate with others, how to deal with them and all that. I learned that, and I think that is going to be very beneficial. And the second thing I would want to say is decision making. Like Andres said, there are several committees on campus, and we students are part of it. And me, Andreas, we all had to participate in several committees. And going to that committee, you would, at one point, everyone's looking at you for your decision. What do you really think about that case? What do you really think about that particular thing? Everyone's looking at you, and you have to make that decision, yes or no. And over these years, it kind of helped me make a decision. Like decision making. I think that's what it is. You decide whether or not that's good for the campus, that it's not good for the campus. That kind of helped me improve my decision making skills. And third thing is maybe my communication. Okay, so having come from Nepal, you know a little bit of English. You know a lot of English, but it's very different from what the local and domestic students do their English. It's different, and you kind of have hard time understanding what they're saying, and they kind of have hard time understanding what you were saying. So knowing people, having met a lot of people, it automatically improves your communication skills and makes you feel more confident and more you can articulate. You will have words to describe your feelings or what do we want to say. So yeah, those are the three main things that I learned throughout these years getting involved with campus.
Well, you guys have shared some great information. I appreciate all of this. Before we finish, would you both mind telling me, and you can go whatever order you want to go in, but tell me maybe what's your favorite memory from your time at McNeese, and what's one thing that you're both about to graduate, what's one thing that you wish you had done? So a favorite memory and something that you wish you had done, maybe kind of suggesting to something new international students.
All right, I'll start first. Okay, one of my favorite memories. Well, actually, there is a lot. What is common in all those memories is all of our SGA members were in that event. Let me say it that way, because we only had fun whenever all of us were there. Kind of. There's a lot from homecoming parades to going to New Hampshire to going to spring quarter. There was a lot, but my favorite part is whenever all of the SGA members were present in the McNeese football game. Our then athletic director, Mr. Bruce Hemphill, asked us if he wanted us to like go out to the game and just have that experience. And we went out to the field. The commentator, like said our names, and that was very beautiful. That was one of my dreams, just to walk out in the field, what it feels like to see all that crowd looking at you, and that was I will always remember that, other than anything else. It's just so beautiful. It's just pictured on my mind.
That's beautiful.
And one thing that I wish I had done is, again, getting involved with campus. I kind of started a little late, to be honest. And I think it is obvious too. First year you come into McNeese, you're from Nepal, you don't know a lot about the culture here and all that. So my first year was basically, I just did literally nothing. I was just trying to figure out things, which building to go, which course to take, and all that. That was just, so and that was so confusing. And it took me a while to figure that out. And second year, I started maybe in my junior year, where I kind of seriously got involved with NSA. I became an SGA representative. And then on my senior year, I became a treasurer, SGA treasurer. So I kind of started a little late. So first thing, what I would say for an international student coming to McNeese is just don't be shy. Just don't hesitate to talk to people. Everyone is so friendly. Just just speak politely and talk to them, and they will help you in every step of your college.
It sounds like you're saying, don't be scared. Just jump right in, and don't be afraid to try something new.
Yeah, that is true.
That's good advice. How about you, Andreas?
Yeah, so Sarauv hit the nail on the head whenever he was saying that, whenever the whole team was there is whenever we had the most fun. I think that's very true. Like, I have a lot of great memories with this team. We have a great team this year, and I really will miss this. Although one thing that I think about the most that just came up to my mind was not this year, but the year before, when I was vice president, I had to host the homecoming pep rally. So that means that I had to go up there with a mic and talk in front of like 800 people, and I had to like direct the whole event. And it was like, I don't know, I was like very anxious leading up to it, but once I got in there, it was such a great feeling to be able to talk to that many people at the same time and to see like their reactions, like their feedback. So that's a very memorable moment for me, and I think I learned a lot about speaking to crowds, to not being shy. I think, I wouldn't be nervous if I were just to speak with them one-on-one. Why am I nervous to speak on them all at once, So that's a memory that very much sticks out for me. And as far as like what I wish I would have done, I don't have any like big thing that I say, man, like if only this would have happened. But I feel like if I could tell myself, like, just try to speak to more people, try to get to know more people. Like, there are many times to where like, oh, like that person and I could maybe have like some interest in common, or I could maybe strike up an extra conversation, but I didn't, like maybe those are like extra possible friends that I just never made, people that I never knew, like laughters that were never had. So I guess that's a thing that I would say, like not speaking to more people, not meeting more people as I could have, And a little advice I would have for myself going back is whenever you enter any situation, like don't assume that you have like the answer right away. Just try to like really listen to understand what's going on and really try to get a judgment for like what's going on with the people around you. See like what people think about it. And then only like once you understand the situation more fully, try to act. So that's something that I've learned like over my time in McNeese and with the student government. And that's just something I wanted to say.
I think that's fantastic advice, and I think that applies in every arena, both in education and beyond. So very good advice. Well, we're going to take some questions and answers. And again, thank you both for being here, and thank you for all of your leadership. Thank you for everything you've done for the campus, and it's been my personal pleasure being your advisor while you've been at McNeese. So we'll move into the question and answer session, and thank you both. We'll move on into the questions. Thank you.
All right, so it sounds like it's great to be a leader at McNeese. So I'm going to bring back Preble and introduce you to Sarauv. Unfortunately, Andreas wasn't able to join today, but we have Sarauv with us. All right. Hey, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hi again.
So we have a lot of people viewing us right now, and we have some questions for you guys. Are you guys ready to answer some questions?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, awesome. So the first question, we got this question several times. How do you apply as an international student to McNeese? This is probably for you, Preble.
Okay, I'll answer this, and then I'll probably let Sarauv maybe interject maybe some of his experience applying. But so the application process for undergraduate students is really very simple. So it starts out by going to our website, www.mcneese.edu. And up in the corner on that website, you're just going to click on, there's a button that says apply. So we try to make it pretty straightforward. So again, on the website, click on apply. Once you click on apply, it'll start the process, and it also gives you information about some of the requirements. Essentially, what we're looking for undergraduate admission, you'll need to show English proficiency, readiness for college algebra, and we're looking for a minimum 0.5 GPA. So all of that, and the nice thing with that is that we also, when you meet that criteria, we're also able to offer something called the McNeese Access Award. And the McNeese Access Award, it's intended for exactly that purpose, to give international students access to McNeese. And with that, you're able to pay in-state tuition. So it's a very valuable award. And again, that meeting the criteria that I outlined, you'll be able to get admission and qualify for the McNeese Access Award. So actually, Sarauv, did you find the application process pretty easy, and were you able to communicate with people in the office when you were applying? I don't know if you can hear me.
Sarauv, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can't hear Preble. So she was asking, how was the application process for you when you applied to McNeese? Was it pretty easy, or did you find anything difficult about it?
It was very easy. I didn't know about McNeese until one of my friends suggested me. I was, looking on every website. I was first, whenever I started, I was just typing in Google and just, like putting in what are the best universities and all that. But then one of my very close friend of mine, he had his brothers come in and study at McNeese, and he was like, you know what, give McNeese a try. It's a good university. Then I went online, just www.mcneese.edu, and you can find all your resources there. It has FAQs and stuff like how to apply and all of that. So it was pretty easy. I didn't require no assistance. Well, I did consult a few of my other friends to help me do a few of the other things, but other than that, application process was very easy. It didn't take me too long to, like do all those requirements. It was very easy.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
And I'll say too right now is we do have an application fee waiver right now just because of the situation surrounding COVID-19 outbreak, and we understand students sometimes have difficulty getting to a bank and everything. So we do have an application fee waiver right now for applications for the spring 2021.
Great. Awesome. So we also got a lot of questions about scholarships. Does McNeese offer any scholarships for international students, and how would you apply for those?
Yeah, so again, I mentioned earlier that we have something called the McNeese Access Award. The word access is key there. So we not only do we try to make that as straightforward as possible, again, minimum 2.5 GPA, English proficiency, so the minimum 71 TOEFL or a 6.0 IELTS, and then readiness for college algebra. So those three things. We award that automatically. So that's something that, again, it's intended to make it easy for students and to make sure that you have access. The students who have SAT scores and they submit SAT scores over 1,200, we do have some additional scholarships that are awarded on a competitive basis, but we do have some additional scholarships that can be stacked on top of the McNeese Access Award. And those are for undergraduate students.
Perfect. All right. So we have some more specific questions. This one comes from Sergi. Do you need or accept any 42-year-old students?
There's no age limit. There would be an age limit if you were too young. The age limit in terms of being an older student, that doesn't come into our consideration. It may be a factor when you go and try to get a visa. You're going to have to be able to show your intent to be a bona fide student. And sometimes that's a little more difficult when you're outside of the traditional college age. But that does not play a role in our admissions decision.
All right. And kind of bouncing off of the pandemic, we have a question from Carl. Do you offer any online courses during this pandemic?
Yes, absolutely. And then we've been very proactive to make sure to ensure the safety of our students, to comply with guidelines, and also the safety of our faculty as well. So we have moved classes online up through the fall, but even into the fall, we do have some online programs. So if you're interested in an online-only program, we do have some programs where you could start and continue throughout the entire duration of your program online. Some of those programs include our there's a psychology program that's online, business program that's online, a criminal justice program that's online. I will say some of our other programs that are very attractive to international students, including engineering and computer science, those are not online, just given a lot of the hands-on resources that we use on campus with our labs and those facilities. Those are not typically online classes. But if you do have a specific interest in online learning, we do have programs for that.
Okay. Perfect. So you said this isn't offered online, but Carl also wants to know, does McNeese offer aerospace engineering?
So, no, we do not. And I'm going to let Sarauv in a second talk a little bit about our engineering program, because that has been very popular with international students. So we do not offer aerospace engineering. We have mechanical, electrical, civil, chemical, and computer engineering. And the area where we're located is very heavy in oil and gas, and so our programs really focus on making sure that we produce people who can work, and not only in that industry, but especially in that industry. So we do not have aerospace or aeronautical engineering. However, I do sometimes, when students ask about that, because I hear this question a lot, I typically tell students to think broadly when they're thinking about engineering. So mechanical engineering might be something that that student might have an interest in that field. If you do mechanical engineering, you're able to work in a variety of different fields and you're not pigeonholed. Whereas if you do a more precise field, you can really only work in that field. So, Sarauv, maybe he can say a few words about mechanical engineering because that's been his area.
Yeah. So Sarauv, Preble was talking about mechanical engineering. Could you kind of give the audience a little bit of background on your experience with the mechanical engineering major?
Okay, yeah, sure. So whenever I first started, I didn't know a lot about mechanical engineering. I know I didn't know I was going to do mechanical engineering. I was first doing mathematics. My major was mathematics. It took me a while to just figure out what major I wanted. Then for the first few semesters, I was just kind of consulting my professors, my advisor. He was of great help. I used to tell him this is what I want to be, maybe this is what I want to do, and my advisor helped me a lot, and he kind of showed me all the possible options at McNeese, and I was just kind of browsing, and at that point I felt like mechanical engineering is maybe something that I would want to do in my undergrad, and then maybe if I want to focus on something specific, then I would go do that in masters. Mechanical engineering, it has been a very, I think I'm very happy that I chose mechanical engineering. Now after 4 years that I finally graduated with mechanical engineering, it is very good. Now I am thinking to pursue my master's, uh, and you know what, I'm thinking to do it in aerospace. Whoever asked a question about aerospace, I think mechanical engineering stands as a base of all of those engineerings, and you can now go to all of those other different branches of the engineering, if that makes sense. Because undergrad mechanical, I think it's a very good option, and we have very good professors at McNeese who do mechanical engineering. They are just so absolutely great. You know, whatever questions you have, they would do whatever to answer your question, and they're so friendly. So anytime, any day, I ask them questions, they would just reply me and give me an answer. It was so nice. I loved mechanical engineering, and at McNeese, it was just so nice.
And Connor, if I can add something to that, that's something that's really important at McNeese, is making sure that students are career ready, or that they're prepared to move on to that next step in their education. And that's been something that I personally have been very excited to see with a lot of my international students. Their preparedness for moving on to graduate programs, and also their success in getting graduate school funding, research opportunities. So I feel very confident about the very strong foundation that we provide students at McNeese.
Okay, great. That's awesome. That was a perfect answer, you guys. We just have one more question. I think that's all we have time for. We went a little overtime, but that's okay. So, Rob, this one is probably best for you. Is it
Okay.
safe to study at McNeese? How
Yes.
is the safety on
Yes.
campus and
It,
off
it
campus?
is. It is very safe. I've been here. Like I said, I've been here for 4 years. McNeese has just been so nice. Not only about, well, it's so nice. The McNeese police is one of the, like, the best I've ever known. It's just one call away. Any issue you have on campus, and you just call them. They'll be right there in minutes. Their office is right next to one of our academic buildings, and they will be there in no seconds. But I mean, I don't see, you don't even have to call McNeese police. It's just so nice. I've never had no issues. None of my friends. We're like, there are a lot of international students in McNeese, Nepalese, and then some African uh, uh, students from African countries and some other Asian countries too. So we never had no issues studying at McNeese. Uh, it's just been so nice. I live in an apartment very close to the university. Uh, I used to walk although sometimes, most of the times I used to walk to the university, I've never had no issues. It is very safe. Not only McNeese, I would say the whole Lake Charles city is very uh, safe. It's very safe, and I've never had no issues. It's been so nice. I'm just so happy that I came to McNeese and I graduated, and yeah, it's just been so nice. McNeese is great.
That's awesome. That's very comforting to know that you're in a safe place. So that's all the time we have for questions today. But if you have questions and didn't see them answered, you can visit McNeese State University's profile on internationalstudent.com. There you can read more about McNeese and also submit a form to get in contact with them directly. So thank you, Sarauv. Thank you, Prabul, for joining us today. And as always, thank you to all of our viewers. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Well,
Bye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.